You know, I think I could grow to like you, little by little.
Now, don't get carried away.
Your presence is neither required nor desired. In fact, it's detested.
You will always be my mom. I love you.
I will miss Monica with all of my heart. But I know that she lives on in her family and in her legacy at General Hospital.
Hello. Welcome to Port Misery, a GH podcast where we try to figure out why everybody is so miserable in Port Charles this week. Hello, we know why they're miserable. The answer is clear. No one is confused by it. Welcome to Monica's Hospital edition of Port Misery. Yes, we are here. Monica is gone, and this week is dedicated to Monica and the legacy that is Monica Quartermaine. What can we say? So much goes down this week. I personally really liked the tribute. I know that others, they had notes. They had notes, and the notes are valid. The notes are valid. I think that I have sort of let so much go in terms of quality when it comes to this show at this point, that if I can see the vision, or if you give me a little throwaway line that explains something, or I can fill in the blanks myself because I've been watching this for the past 30 years, I'll go with it. I'll go with it. I've been watching this since I was 8, and so, let's do it. Let's do it. And so this is Monica's Hospital edition. We had tears. We had runaway sister-in-law situation. We had stepsons crashing funerals. And of course, Nathan came back. Yes, Nathan came back. And I wasn't even mad at that. I wasn't mad at that. But let's get into it. We got to do Monday. So Monday, a lot happened. A lot happened. Not all of it had to do with Monica's hospital. And so we can't actually start at Monica's hospital during the Monica's Hospital Port Misery edition. I'm not mad at it because we can't always have something. I feel like back in the day, and by back in the day, I mean 5 years ago, and the show from 2020 to right now. I feel like the show was so bad for different reasons that, some of it is the production's fault and a lot of it's not. A lot of it has to do with COVID and the ways in which Hollywood changed after that, the amount of money Hollywood lost, which did affect the show. We can't pretend like it didn't. The certain regulations that were put into place, you just don't have 20, 30 people on a set anymore. You just don't. And so I kind of understood why back in the day when characters were dying, say when Sean Donnelly died, you had to do this thing where you were like, all right, we're gonna go to Ireland and have this pocket episode that just focuses on him and his little story, because it is so detached from everything else happening in Port Charles. It's just a nice way to honor a really fun character that passed away in real, the actor passed away in real life, and so they retired the character. And we do that in soaps, right? We're very much sports leagues where we retire characters like people retire numbers. And it is a situation where because he was so disconnected from what was currently happening, we had to do that pocket episode. When Bobby died, I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that nothing was happening on the show. Nothing was happening on the show, right? And so we had to sort of invent this side story where she's helping people who have been trafficked in Europe because, she was a victim in her early story. Like, we learned that, with Carly's birth, and like she was 15 and she worked in, a friggin' brothel essentially with her aunt. It was just a crazy story if you haven't heard it. And so, it was very, I like that they added that story because, it was nice, but it was also like we could add it because what else was happening? Like, I don't even remember what was happening around the time Bobby died. That's how uninteresting it was. Like, if you were to tell me like this is what was happening, I would remember it because I was watching it. Like, oh yeah, that was the storyline that was sort of surrounding that. But off the top of my head right now, I don't remember what was happening around Bobby. I just remember that side story with Carly and Felicia, and it was very cute. It was very cute. And so with Monica's death, I feel like there is so much happening on the show aside from Monica dying that like they had to figure out a way to make her death a part of the story. And in my opinion, they did a very good job of that. They did a very good job because we have the setup not just of, this Drew versus the Quartermaines that's already happening because he's versus the whole town, yes, but he is specifically versus the Quartermaines. And then, you have Martin, who's like has this beef vendetta against Tracy, just blames all of his life's problems on Tracy. And so you have, Drew and him now teaming up, which when we get to Friday's episode, we're gonna talk about it. But you have them teaming up, and then we have Erica Slezak's character, who I'm gonna just be calling sus ass Vicky Lord for the foreseeable future. We'll see next week when she's actually allowed to have a personality. If like the adjective in front of Victoria Lord changes, but I will be just referring to her as Victoria Lord. I'm not getting to know this character's name. Y'all know me. But I say all that to say is that we have these great setup stories and we have like all of the throwbacks to history. I love that it's being centered around Jason and Tracy, the two people who have like honestly given the Monica the most hell over the past 45 years for various reasons. If you know, you know, and I'll probably talk about it periodically throughout this episode. But I just think that Monica's death weaves so nicely into what's already happening on the show that I didn't need a side little adventure. I'm assuming that sus ass Vicky Lord is our side little adventure because who is she? Because I'm just calling her sus ass Vicky Lord. We know she's not sus ass. We know she's not Vicky Lord. This is like a homophobic Maria Santos situation, right? Like she wasn't actually Maria Santos, but I'm not learning her name. She's a homophobe. And so Victoria Lord is over here being sus. I'm not learning her GH name. You are sus ass Victoria Lord. What are you doing here? What's going on? And so I really like the Monica tribute, but as I was just saying, my long-winded way, like I think that was like a 4-minute long way of saying we can't start there. We cannot start there. So we got to start at Christina's hospital because we always just got to be talking about Christina. If you are confused about why Christina's hospital is called Christina's hospital, it's because she is the center of it. Like, even if she's not on the screen, we're most likely talking about her and her weird ass plans and her chaotic ass life and how it interrupts everybody in her family's life. Like, why is she doing that? And so, like, Molly called Alexis to one of several coffee shops that exist in Port Charles and to complain about Christina, as I was saying. Sidebar, do we think that all of these coffee shops have Corinthos coffee in them? Like, I like to think that that's why we're going so hard on the coffee shops. That like there's a million different coffee shops you could be at like throughout Port Charles, and all of them sell Corinthos coffee because we are a legitimate businessman. I will get to Mob Hospital. It is in this episode. Let me get back to Christina's hospital. Think about it though. Anyway, she comes to tell Alexis about, Christina hiring Cody to do a honeypot on Ava and break up her and Rick. And like Michael, Alexis really got to pretend like she didn't know about any of this. She's like, oh my God, what? That's crazy. Like, but I'm sure she did it because she loved you. And Molly is so basic. She's like, yeah, I know. Girl, like, I understand that this is not as deep as Dead Baby Summer. And girl, she hired this man to seduce, she hired him to do sex work. That's so weird. That's so weird. I love that they're making this the fucking random meet cute between Cody and Molly that brings them together. Like, I know they're not meeting, they've already like known each other, but this is like the spark, that time he got paid by her sister to do sex work. Okay. I'm not mad at it. I did kind of like Cody and Ava. I thought they were cute, but you know, it was just him doing sex work. Like, don't ever fall for a John, I guess, is the what the show is telling me. And so I don't mind Molly and Cody. I just think that, you know, girl, he was out here doing sex work. But Alexis is pretty much like, girl, we know. Like, we already know that. Everybody knows you like this, you know, man, this rugged, stable hand. We all know this. Because, like, why are you talking about him so much? Like, why do we have to hear about him so much if you don't like him? And she's like, well, you know, I don't know. And she's like just gassing him up to her mom. Like, even though he does sex work, he did, you know, tell me about it. And he turned down Uncle Sonny's reward money, and it was 10K. Girl, since when are you calling Sonny Uncle Sonny? Weren't you like berating him until he like ended up on the hospital roof that one time? But whatever, if the Corinthos family is healing, I'll let it heal. I'll let it heal. Yeah, that's your Uncle Sonny. And like, I will say, Alexis being gagged by Sonny putting up $10,000 for that dog is me. That shit is me. Cause like, she said, what? 10,000 for a dog? Like, for real, Alexis, that is too much fucking money. What is happening here? But Alexis is pretty much like, she is Michael. Like, her and Michael were like channeling each other, because she essentially gives her the exact same advice Michael gave her like a month ago. And it's like, why don't you just go like date his ass? Like, you don't have to marry him. Just like date him. If you want to date him, girl. What's the problem? Like, just date him. And I know it's because, you know, she's only ever been with TJ. I mean, except she did get her back blown out by Brando that one time. The North remembers. And dating wise, being in a relationship wise, she's only ever been with TJ. So I get that, but also, where is TJ? Where is he? He's just somewhere in the off-screen extended universe. Like, and this is, I say this a lot. I think someone asked me once, like, what do I mean by the off-screen extended universe? I mean that the show relies on the off-screen extended universe for a lot of plot, because it's lazy. And so when it wants to change things, like when they decided they wanted Cody to already have a connection in this town that wasn't being the son of Mac and Dominique, they made up this like summer camp that like him and Dante used to go to, and like he was calling Olivia Mama Falconeri and shit, and it was so annoying. And that's why I'm glad when we don't have scenes with Cody and Olivia, because I do not need to hear him call her Mama Falconeri. Please stop. And all that shit was made up, and it led to, you know, the Bronte baby. And all of a sudden Dante and Brooklyn are, you know, within an age where it's not, you know, illegal for him to be having a baby with her when she's like 15. And so that's what I mean about the off-screen extended universe. Anytime like Jordan and Curtis start talking about Baltimore, when do we see any of that? Like, but that is so much lore that's so important, but it happened off screen. And so many characters have that. And like, you know, this new writers regime is not the first people to do this. So I'm not accusing, not even like Chris and Dan, like they're not the first people to do that. I mean, most of the characters that came on like post 2012 have off-screen extended universe backstories that explain who they are and why they're here, and that off-screen extended universe gets like more and more fleshed out, and we just kind of got like we got to go with it. Like, you know how like first it was like Brit just came to town and she's just like a random bitch and everyone hates her, but then all of a sudden her mom is Lisa Obrecht, and Anna knows her from back in the day, and she's like obsessed with Faison, and Faison is her dad. And so now she's connected to the show, right? And then Nina comes on, and she's just like random fucking character that's attached to Michael Easton's Port Charles character that's also made up because his Port Charles character is dead, but he's playing his twin because now all of a sudden freaking the vampire had a twin, you know. Sure. And like Nina is his wife because there's a whole backstory with Nathan showed up as her brother, all this off-screen extended universe backstory, right? And then all of a sudden their mom Madeline, more off-screen extended universe backstory, is sisters with Liesel, which makes them connect to Faison. So now everyone's connected to Faison, and the Westbournes have like become this prominent family, all because of like off-screen extended universe shenanigans. Ava being a Jerome, right? And them connecting it to, oh my god, that other soap that's like escaping me. Roxy from One Life to Live was on it. She was like the star. Put it in the comments. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. But like her character, Delia, is Ava's mom. And she had a baby with Victor Jerome. Like, you know, off-screen extended universe shenanigans. And so that's what I mean by the off-screen extended universe. And so there we go. Okay, let's go over to Law and Order Hospital, which is like combining with hospital because the Nathan is a live story. And so we're still trying to figure out if Nathan is Nathan, which is obviously the show will not allow us to be gagged, like at least not this soon. It wants us to be gagged by this, but then you told us about it. You guys did a whole promo like, look who's back, and you told us about it. And then like now the question is like, is he Nathan? Like the DNA and stuff says he is, but we all know about that shit with Drew. Like, is he gonna be a twin? Please don't give me that. I do not want that. But then there are other options. He could be memory mapped. He could, I don't know. We could go, are we gonna go Days of Our Lives with it? Are we gonna like, oh, we put Cesar Faison's brain in Nathan's skull somehow because he wasn't shot in the head, he was shot in the chest, like he didn't need a new brain. But you know, he just have Faison's memories, so he thinks he's Faison. Is he Peter August? Like they're gonna gag us somehow, but we're not being gagged right now. We are not there yet. But Dante and Anna are stumped. They're like, yeah, I don't know. I do not know. This shit is weird AF. Like, and obviously they would like this to be Nathan way more than they wanted to see Brit. They're like, well, okay. But they kind of have to like admit that it's sus that both Liesel's kids just like showed up out of nowhere. Like, huh? That's weird. Dante asked Anna if they should like loop in Spy Hospital, and Anna's like, no, this is my case. Fuck Pikeman. And you know what? That's right, Anna. That's right. You keep Spy Hospital out of this shit for as long as possible. I do not want to see Spy Hospital here. Like, stop it. Not until they learn how to let Joss do spy things on screen and get her back blown out in the off-screen extended universe, because they have that reverse right now. Like right now, Joss be doing 90% of her spying off screen, and what we see is her getting her back blown out. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm over it. It's too much. And so yes, this is going to stay in Law and Order Hospital for the foreseeable future. And so they're talking about that. Hospital is working on Nathan. So it's Lucas, a random nurse who is just extra. Good for her. I love her. Get your money, girl. Get your bag. Liz is there. Liz is gagged. Liz once again is being gagged. Liz exists on the show to be gagged because she does not get to know the tea in any one given hospital. Like throughout this week, she's gonna be gagged. Becky's so good at it, so it's fine. But she's like, "Oh my god, is that Nathan?" And Lucas is like, "I don't know. We just gotta do our job." Anna comes in. she's like, I need to get some fingerprints and some blood samples so I can see if this is Nathan. I need to know who this man is. Dante is like, we should get the car that he crashed, like the license plate, maybe it's his, so we can find out who he is. They get all the results back. It's Nathan. It's Nathan. We ain't hear about the car yet, but it's Nathan. That's what we learned. So Nathan's back. Like, Nathan's back. I'm gonna call this right now. I called it on Twitter already. Nathan thinks it's 2018. He's gonna wake up and he's gonna think it's 2018. He's gonna think that he just got shot and he's waking up and he gonna ask where his wife is. And obviously we know that Maxie is over at the Coma Care Center at Coma Care Avenue in Coma Care County in Coma, Carolina. And so she's over at Mobla's Hospital. She not here. And so let's wait to see Nathan think that it's 2018. And so now let's go over to Rocco's hospital. So yikes. If you I'm gonna preface this. Kelly Thiebaud plays the hell out of this role, right? I don't have to like her to admit. Not Kelly. I don't have no problem with Kelly Thiebaud. I don't know her. Let me clarify that really quick. Britt Westbourne. I don't have to like Britt Westbourne as a character, right? To admit that Kelly Thiebaud eats down in this role because she is deeply unpleasant when she wants to be, and deeply pleasant when she wants to be. Like, she is very good at giving each energy very well separately to where you can understand why Rocco might feel one way about her and Lulu might feel another way about her. The problem really is going to be Jason, because Britt has been giving Jason nothing but fucking attitude. So it's going to be really hard for you to just come out and try to pull this Lulu is out of pocket bullshit when Jason literally sees you all the time and you're nothing but an asshole to him. And so let's get into it. So Britt runs into Rocco at Bobby's. Can't be mad at her for it. She is staying at Bobby's, so like she was trying to get to her place, and then he was obviously there because he's a kid. Him and Charlotte are kids, and so this town is made up of nothing but like bars and coffee shops and this one diner. And so they're at the diner that their family owns, and so Britt just happens to be staying there. If Lulu and Dante want to run up on someone, let them run up on Jason. I mean, Dante already want to run up on her ass, his ass. It's not Carly, it's Jason. But Lulu, same. But she runs into him, and to be honest, it's as awkward as you think it would be. Like, I'm sorry, for me personally, her being obsessed with this child does not soften her to me. It actually makes me hate her more. Cause girl, where is this energy coming from? But they talk for a second. I love Charlotte's relationship with Rocco because she's really like, I'm your big sister, so like I'm gonna give you space unless you need me to not give you space. Because if you need me to not give you space, I will stand directly between you and this hoe. And that's what she was doing up until he was like, nah, I'm good. You can wait outside. She was between them. Like, I'm going to stand right here. Hey, hi, girl. How you doing? How you doing? And so, Charlotte goes outside. Rocco is talking to Britt. She's just like, oh, hey, I saw you on social media as like one of those iconless people who just like stalks people with a bunch of fucking numbers. Okay. I don't know why Rocco finds this cute. This is literally like a PDF file behavior. And I'm not saying Britt is. I'm just asking, like, who is writing this? Who is writing this? Like, I have notes. I have notes. I'm not going to get into the notes, but I have them. Just know that. And so what I'm saying is, it's weird. Lulu rolls up. Now, Charlotte knows her mom. And so she runs up like, hey, I gotta talk to you for a second. I don't want you to freak out. Lulu being Lulu's like, too late. Too late. As soon as you said it, it started. I could not help it. And so Charlotte is like, Rocco is with Britt. Please don't freak out. Lulu, you know what? She did a great job. I have no notes to be honest. Like, she was literally like, thank you for telling me. I probably would have popped off if I just walked in there and saw that shit. So thank you for calming me down. She tells Charlotte, you know, how smart she is and what a great daughter she is. It's like a great parenting moment for Lulu. I really hope that Rocco being a teen doesn't fuck this up. Cause like his mom's killing it right now. But Rocco is with Britt inside. Lulu can see it and she's panicking. But Rocco's actually kind of freaking out because this is awkward as fuck. Like I said, this shit is awkward. I get that Britt is excited. You could tell that Rocco is kind of like weirded out. Not by anything that she's doing, but it's a weird situation. Like, she was dead like 2 days ago. Like, and he could do all this stuff safely, knowing that she was dead, she wasn't gonna roll through. And now she's rolling through, so it's weird. And so Britt's like, I'll answer any question that I can, you know, within reason, meaning that you don't want to talk about stealing him as a clump of cells and why you had to do that. But don't even get that twisted. Emma will fill in the details for all the, you know, obfuscation you try to do. Like, Emma go be there with them details. And so he's like, thank you so much for that offer. To be honest, my mom is outside. Like, my real mom is outside, so I gotta go. And so he leaves. Lulu's like, how you doing? Are you okay? How did that go? He was just like, it was a lot. It was a lot. Can I go home? And so Lulu's like, yeah, of course. Takes him home. She goes to see Britt to make peace with her ass. And Britt is nothing but a complete asshole the whole fucking time. And Lulu is immediately proven right about how she felt about her the whole time. Like, fuck what Jason said, fuck what fucking Liesl said, fuck what Carly said, fuck what my mom said. I know this bitch ain't shit. And Lulu reads her ass, and Britt is just making the craziest, most assholish statements you've ever heard in your life. Like, she took what Lisa was saying like a month ago to a whole new level. To a whole new level. Now, people have argued that she did this to protect Rocco because she got that package before Lulu showed up. And at the end, we see that it's sent from the people who were keeping her at that Evil Sandals resort. And it has the initial C, which makes people think that it's maybe Cesar Faison. I don't know. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if she wanted to keep this kid safe, then why is she even near him? Why does she gotta be an asshole to protect this kid? Like, why are you even here? You should have been told Jason, like, I have people after me, and so what I need you to do is, like, get me a safe house, get me on the run, get me off the grid, like what Sasha did. And Jason don't gotta go with her ass. Lisa could have went with her. To be honest, it could have been like, I'm sorry, did that come with some actual humility, and then let your mom go off with you? Like, there were options. Like, she acting like this is the only option. And so even if she is doing this, and I see how she's doing this to like make Lulu mad, so Lulu bans Rocco, so she can't, you are just making things hard for fucking Lulu, which is an asshole move. Because now Lulu has to be the bad guy. You don't want to act like an asshole to this kid, which would actually be more effective if you just walked up on his ass and said, I don't want to see you. Like, I gave birth to you. I don't regret it, but I also am not your mother. And so I don't think we should have a relationship with each other. And just been real fucking blunt about it. Like, you didn't have to do the shit that you were doing to Lulu, but you could have like shot him down. Like, it's fine that you want to have a relationship with my mother. I'm not going to stop that, but like, you're not going to have one with me. We're good. And that also protects this kid. That's all I'm saying. They choose to write her like an asshole. They choose to do that. and make her do asshole things that puts other people in effed up situations. Cause like I said, now Lulu's gonna freak out and ban Rocco from seeing her, and now she's the bad guy. It's just like this outside protection. So when all of this shit comes out, and like people see like, oh, Britt was in danger, then Rocco's even more mad at Lulu because now he's like, well, you couldn't understand that she was only doing that to protect me. It's like a dick fucking move. It's stupid. Like, okay, it's good soap, I'll say that. It's good soap, and it'll lead to more drama because like I don't really have stakes and Lulu and her relationship with her children, to be honest, right? I just mean that I can see why Lulu would be upset by this tactic and why Lulu fans would be upset by this tactic, because it doesn't end with Rocco seeing her for the asshole that she is. It ends up with Rocco thinking Lulu's the asshole because she's not doing this in front of him, when there was a very frank yet, tasteful way to shut this kid down immediately. You knew that you had people after you because you just came from an evil sandals resort and nondescript European manager isn't fucking dead. So you knew that you had people after you when you came to Port Charles, but you still initiated a relationship and contact with this kid like you gonna be friends with him on social media and shit. Girl. And so that's why this does not endear Britt to me. That's why I don't find it cute. It's asshole behavior. And so, and also one final thing, because this is already a really long segment just to be about ratchet ass Britt. Britt is so insecure. She's so insecure. Like, why is she always accusing people of being threatened by her when it's the exact opposite? Like, you are threatened by Carly's relationship with Jason because you want that relationship. You want him to drop everything for you, even though he has. Like, what are you talking about? He literally just saved you from an evil sandals resort. And you are threatened by Lulu's relationship with Rocco because you only have, like, what, 10 months of this kid's life? What are we talking about? Like, she has been his mom for the majority of his life. And so she got you beat. Even with the 4-year coma, she still got you beat. And so, Britt, okay. Like I said, it's soapy goodness, right? Some characters need to be assholes. This is not me trying to say fix her. If she's gonna be the asshole on this show, that's fine. I'm even fine with her fans defending the asshole behavior because other asshole characters do that. I do that with Sunny and Carly all the time. Ava fans do that with her. Nina fans do that with her. Willow ain't really got fans like that. I feel like she will, like when they really dig into Dark Willow, like people will be like, I can stand. But people defend asshole characters all the time. Tracy gets defended, people love that shit. Lucy, like, it's fine. So I'm not even saying she needs to change. I just want to make that very clear. Moving on. This is such a long segment. This is such a long segment. It was good though. The week was good. If this is a long episode, my bad, y'all. Anyway, Rocco's dog's hospital, because we kind of intersect into it because like we still care about this dog. And so it's just like a little snippet of Rocco's dog's hospital. We get more of Gio and Emma being brought together, being parent trapped by this dog. Brooklyn interrupts to tell Cody, Emma, and Gio that Monica passed away. And Gio always got an attitude for no reason. Just for absolutely no reason. I'm like, sir, like, you are literally hating from outside a club that you claim you don't want to be in. And so what's happening, sir? But Emma's clearly broken up by this, and Gio kind of doesn't really know what to do. I just want to point out all these recasts are killing it. Like, all these recasts, Emma, Michael, Molly, like Lulu, they're all killing it. Just no notes here. But Brooklyn asks about the dog. They're like, oh, this is Rocco's dog. And she's like, oh, I'm sure Rocco's going to be so happy to see the dog. And then Cody's like, but I'm not because I'm going to lose the dog. Brooklyn's like, you can keep the dog. Like, to be honest, you can keep the dog. Especially because she seems to like the dog and my son seemed like her. And that means if the dog is here, then she gonna be here, which means he's gonna be here, and then I can see my son. And so, yeah, I declare all dogs, can go to the Q mansion. And Cody is so happy, and everyone's happy. Rocco agrees, and Cody's like Cody, Emma, and this dog are now trying to get Gio to chill the fuck out on his parents. They're child trapping Gio to come home to the Q mansion. Monica's ghost is gonna get in on that soon enough. But let's go over to Mob Hospital really quick. So, Mob Hospital, Michael is just telling his parents that Monica died and they're just there for him. They talk about, stealing Michael as a baby. Michael is famously the stolen Jarson baby. Jason, Sonny, and Carly stole him equally from the Quartermaines. And Jason is obviously got so much regret about that. We've heard that from last week. I love how Carly and Sonny are like, we did what we did. Hashtag no regrets. But we respected her. Like, did you? Did you? Because you def kept this boy from her his whole life. Didn't feel bad about it at all. But Michael says how they talked about it because of what's happening with Willow and how he's kind of going full Carson on her ass, being like, you can't ever see these kids, fuck you, girl. And how Monica said that, she conceded that maybe Carson didn't, completely fuck up Michael. And they're just like, damn, coming from Monica, that's real high praise because she def thought we were trash. Let me just also say, because it's so funny, Mo looks like so checked out in these scenes. And I just took it as like, maybe he's just like got that, survivor's guilt of that. Like, oh my God, I can't believe my ops of 30 plus years are all gone. Like the people who did nothing but call me trash for decades. I won. I beat him. But at what cost? Like that, when you op with someone for so long, you start to respect them. Like we see that with Tracy. Let's go over to Monica's hospital, the epicenter of Monica's hospital. So Lucy, another Monica op, stops by at the worst possible time to talk about deception. Girl, it's nighttime. It is nighttime. Go home. You can text me. You could call me on the phone. You could send me an email. Like, why are you at my house? But she comes by to talk about deception. Tracy just slammed the door in her face because she's also Tracy's op. Like, girl, bitch, get out of my house. Go away. Lucy just started banging on the door like a crazy person. She's like, let me in. You gotta let me in. I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna climb through the dog door. I'm gonna climb through windows. I'm gonna climb trees. Girl, you not climbing nothing. What are you talking about? But Tracy lets her in and tells her that Monica died. And Tracy, she starts listing all the things she needs to do. Got to call the funeral home, got to call the hospital. All these people going to want to do stuff. Lucy is like, what you need to do is drink, to be honest. What we need to do is get drunk. Because what the fuck? Monica is a legend. Like, she a OG. And if she has gone home, we need to drink. We need to drink on that because goddamn. Lucy just starts talking about how she schemed to get Alan back in the day because, she thought that was going to fix all her problems if she was Mrs. Alan Quartermaine, but how she could never actually accomplish that because he only loved Monica. Like, you can't keep a bad bitch like Monica down for too long, You might get the ring, you might get the marriage certificate signed, but the ink's not going to dry before she get his ass back. And so they're talking about that. They toast to Monica. We got a lot of toasts to Monica in this episode. Carson and their stolen Jarson baby toast to Monica. Lucy and Tracy toast to Monica. But, everybody's dapping each other up, talking about what a legend Monica is. They talk about the staircase And I really like that because, you know, it's been upstairs Monica for so long. She was so powerful. Like Monica upstairs, queen of the off-screen extended universe, was just so powerful, just making moves, making power moves. Like, and now everybody is like paying their respect to the stairs because she went to the ultimate upstairs in the sky, right? And so she talked about the stairs, how she never liked them stairs, thought they were tacky, like only a peasant would want this staircase, but how she was wrong, that, you know, it's the nicest staircase in the world, upstairs Monica. And Lucy really wants to comfort Tracy, but like, that's her op. She just does not know how to do that. She's like, I don't know if I pat her on the shoulder or try to hug her, like she might legit elbow me in the face. And so I'm not going to do that. And so Lucy leaves and Tracy just breaks down on the stairs and it's so, so sad. It's so, so sad. Monica's hospital. This is going to be a rough week. I'm going to let y'all know that right now. This is gonna be a rough week. I'm still gonna make it funny, but it is deeply, deeply sad. So let me go watch Tuesday's episode really quick, and I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. It's Tuesday. Lots more Monica's hospital, but also lots more of other things besides Monica's hospital, which I said is necessary, right? Like the stories don't stop because Monica passed away, so I'm not mad that we had to deal more with Drew's shooting. I did appreciate that Hat Daddy came in with the energy of like that man deserved to be shot. And so let's start at Black Hospital. So Black Hospital, we got the return of Hat Daddy. And Hat Daddy's really here to fuck up Drew's shit. He's really like, I want everyone to know that that man's trash and he deserved to be shot. And my son should not go to jail for it, even if he did shoot him. And it's the right energy. It's the right energy. And like Curtis is really trying to be like, it's fine, Hat Daddy. You don't have to do that. Da, 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 da. Portia and Curtis are acting weird as fuck. And Trina clocks it. Like she keeps noticing that they're like holding hands all over the shop. Like, since when do y'all hold hands like this? It's weird. Also, I noticed Portia is not wearing her wedding ring. So who cares if y'all are hand holding if she already took off her wedding ring getting her back blown out by Isaiah? But, you know, Hat Daddy is going off on Drew, and Curtis is like, not in front of Trina. In front of Trina. Like, he says not in front of Trina, in front of Trina, like she's 5. Like, he treats her like a literal child. It's embarrassing. And so Trina's like, no, I am a part of this family, and I would like to know what's going on. Curtis is like, it's totally fine. Like, there's just people of interest. I'm not even really a person of interest. Like, there's so many people who want to kill Drew. Everything's fine. Dante shows up. Yes. And Dante is like, hey, bruh, horny DA is like really on our ass, and she just needs me to go over this statement again with you. So could we do that? And so Curtis is giving his statement. He adds that he went to get gas. He was like, I was at the gas station from 8:30 to 8:45. That seems like a long time. Like, why were you there so long, sir? Like, how long does it take to pump gas? Like, were you like filling up your tank, or like is your tank the size of like a 757 airliner? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you there for so long? But whatever, he was there for 15 minutes, but like that doesn't even fucking matter because like his actual alibi is non-existent because the actual time Drew was shot, he doesn't have an alibi. But he does let it drop that after Drew was shot, he was with Jordan. And so Portia is fucking pissed. And she walks Dante out because Dante's like, well, you don't have an alibi, so let me bounce. And she's like, let me walk you out. And then immediately is like, game over. We're done. And bounces. Curtis runs after her and he's just like, what are you doing? Like, I have a lot to say to you too, but we got to do this. Portia's like, we ain't got to do nothing. Actually, we don't have to do anything because you out here with Jordan. I love that she has this energy knowing that she banged Isaiah. That her fucking alibi is that she was getting her back blown out by Isaiah. Like, she don't even need him as... I kind of wish that she let that drop. Like, I don't need you to protect me because I already have an alibi. I was banging Isaiah. Boom. Checkmate. But she just because he tries to come at her like, well, like the only reason why we're doing this is because I'm protecting you. She's like, stop protecting me. Stop protecting me. I'm good. We're good. And she leaves. Now Trina was trying to like eavesdrop and like fuck I said eavesdrop. I love that. Eavesdrop. And Hat Daddy was like, no, let's go make some coffee. But when Curtis comes back in the house, Trina is waiting to be like, bruh, what the hell? Whose side is she gonna be on? I honestly don't know. I wish I could like go into this knowing she would just be on her mom and the side of women, but they have not written her that way so far. She's like, oh my god, you know how much my dad believes in truth. Your dad is having an emotional affair with Jordan. Been having it for months. But yeah, he's a warrior for fucking truth. Sure. Anyway, let's go to, I mean, Black Hospital is sort of distributed across various hospitals today. So let's go over to Law and Order Hospital / hospital. They're going to probably be in tandem with each other as long as Nathan is in the hospital. But once Nathan's out of the hospital, he probably will be firmly in Law and Order Hospital, if not shoved into Spy Hospital, to be honest. But let's do Law and Order Hospital / hospital. So Aunt Stella is very happy to be back at work. She's like kikiing with Felicia. Felicia's super happy to see her. And Aunt Stella's like, since I've been busy, how you been, girl? Because obviously Stella knows about Maxie. And Felicia's like, it's hard, but thank you so much. Later on for Aunt Stella, just get her out the way, Martin stops by and she has to find out that he's working for Drew again. She's not happy about that. And then Jordan stops by and she thanks her for all her help and tells her that she's worried about Curtis shooting Drew. And Jordan's like, I'm just so optimistic. I don't think that he did it. Now I kind of want Curtis to have done it just because he's being such a dick about stuff. But like I said, it doesn't really help me with my Drew issue. I kind of needed to be Willow for his sake. Like, so, because if Curtis did it, it just reinforces all the shit he believes about Curtis. That's all I'm saying. But just to take Curtis down a peg, because I'm sick of him, I would love that too. Also, of course, she'll like to gag his ass by telling him that she's banging Isaiah. That would also work. So, there are ways to get Curtis that doesn't involve him shooting Drew. But Stella's like, I'm worried about that. And Jordan's like, nah, don't worry about that. And so that's Black Hospital tied up in the other hospitals. Let's go back to Felicia in hospital. So like Felicia was, doing her job and she walks into a random patient's room. It's a John Doe. So she's like, obviously they need a hospital advocate. Let me get in there. It's Nathan. So of course she's shook. She's shook as fuck because no one ever tells Felicia anything. Like we literally learned that neither Anna nor Mac told her. So let's go over to Anna really quick. So Anna had called in Nina because she was like, if I had to deal with any of the Westbournes, I guess Nina is now the most sane out of all of them. Now that Nathan's back, if he's back and on the up and up, he will take that role of being the most sane person in the Westbourne family. But the most sane person currently is Nina. Maybe when James is an adult, he'll become the most sane Westbourne. But for now, it's Nina. So she calls Nina in to tell her about Nathan being back. And Nina is like, nah, nope. I buried him. I was there. You were there. We did this. I'm not about to deal with this. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm not mad at her for that. I'm not mad at her for that. Like, with everything that's going on with her family, with Willow, with Britt coming back, with Liesl kind of on one, like, Nathan coming back, like, that is, her and Nathan were so close. And so I get her being like, nope, I can't actually handle that. Anna is like, listen, I can't bring in Liesl because she's not objective. I don't fucking trust Britt because it sounds like she's in on this shit. I need someone who is mildly objective to ID this man. And Nina is really like, no, what? Go find someone then. Find someone else. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. Like, this is my main question. Why does she need Nina to do this? Like, you and Dante are fine to do this. Like, we've had you, Dante, Elizabeth, Lucas, like, and now Felicia all say that it clearly looks like it's Nathan. So what the fuck is Nina gonna bring to this? Is my big thing. This is more like an excuse to get her in the story, which I don't mind. You know, like I said, Cynthia was really good today. But like Anna sounds crazy being like, I just need you to do this. Like, what does Nina have that Dante doesn't have? That was the man's partner. And so, but Nina agrees to do it, essentially. She agrees to do it where they run into Felicia, who had just seen Nathan and who is like in a catatonic state, it seems like. So looking at Felicia, Nina now knows like, oh, this shit's real. And so I'm gonna come back to Nina for a second. Felicia, Anna takes her and she's like, listen, I needed to get more information before I told somebody. I wasn't not trying to tell you. Felicia lets it drop that Mac didn't tell her either. Like I said, why isn't anybody telling Felicia shit? Come on now. Especially if he is at her job and you know that there's a chance that she might run into him. You didn't want to give her a heads up about that, or at least make sure that Stella was taking care of that patient? Okay, like this is what I mean about Spy Hospital and Law and Order Hospital. It's just like the weirdest, most assholish moves take place at those two hospitals specifically, which would be fine if they didn't like hold themselves to this higher standard that they supposedly uphold and look down on every other version of this hospital about. It's annoying. But yeah, no one can tell Felicia, hey, by the way, some guy who looks like Nathan is just there. So, you know, heads up. But, you know, Felicia's like, what is this going to do to James? To be honest, like, what's this going to do to my grandson? And Anna's like, well, wouldn't it be great for him to have a second parent since Max is in a coma? Anna, I love you, queen. You sound like a fucking idiot. You sound like a fucking idiot. What are you talking about? She doesn't know that man. He thought his father was dead. And now his mama is in a coma and his dad is back from the dead. And you think that's a good thing for him. Girl, be so fucking serious. Be so fucking serious. Just because you were out here keeping Robin from Robert and that turned out okay, this is not the same situation. Robin didn't know either one of you were her parents. So it wasn't like you told her that Robert was dead and she had to like reconcile with her dad coming back from the dead. I know it's not actually Anna, it's the writers again. Like I said, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. Felicia is wants to correctly and quickly like he doesn't know that man. He doesn't know that man. And what if it's not Nathan? Which is a big if. Like, even if he wakes up like, I'm Nathan, there is a very good chance that this ends with it not being Nathan. And then what happens to James? Then is it a good thing that he's a second parent? So I'm saying, stupid dialogue. And so Felicia's freaking out. Nina finally sees him and she can't deny that it looks like her brother. You know, she wants to kind of bounce like, I don't want to be a part of this, but she can't bring herself to leave the room. And so she sits with him, she holds his hand, he squeezes her hand and wakes up and smiles at her. And it seems like it's Nathan. It seems like it's Nathan. Like I said, does Nathan wake up thinking it's 2018? Because he seems to recognize Nina. He's not waking up like, who are you, bitch? He's waking up like, hey, girl, it's good to see you. So what's going on there? But that is essentially, you know, Law and Order Hospital, a little bit of Black Hospital sprinkled into it. That is the non-Monica's hospital portion of Port Misery on Tuesday. Let's go to the Monica's hospital portion of it though. Let's go to Delusional Hospital, of course. Because we got Martin. He's scheming on the queue somehow. I'm assuming he's calling sus-ass Victoria Lord. And it's loser-ass behavior, to be honest. Because, like, you scheming on somebody when Monica's dead is loser fucking behavior, Martin. To be honest, like, I'm gonna sit and go with it because it's good soap, but also when Tracy reads you for filth and potentially bankrupts you again, puts you in jail again, I'm just gonna sit here and let her do it because how fucking dare you? How fucking dare you? But we're gonna see what happens. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. But like I said earlier, he ran into Stella, told her he was going back to work for Drew, goes to see Drew, and immediately, regrets it. Now, like I said, Drew has saw I don't think I said this. I think I just brought up Jordan and Stella. Jordan had went to go see Drew to get him to see reason, but it's a lost fucking cause, to be honest. And he just sort of ends it with like, you need to be nice to me because my mom died, and she leaves. And so Martin comes in, and Martin is like, so I want to talk to you about this injunction we filed. Just want you to know the injunction went through. Horny DA fought it, so I gotta see how that shakes out. It's not looking good for us, bruh. I'm not gonna lie. Drew just starts talking crazy. He's just all like, Monica loved me. I was a son to her. She would have forgiven me, but it is Tracy, Jason, and Michael's fault. They poisoned her against me. Like, well, you literally made your entire being like arsenic, and it wasn't hard to do that. Like, mentioning you was just poison. So, what are you talking about? But Martin's really not trying to hear this shit. He's like, let me be real with you. We are not friends. We are not friends. And so I don't fucking care about this. I do not care about this. Go tell a priest or a therapist, preferably a therapist. And Drew is like, nah, this is your business, because like they might be keeping me out her family, but they're not keeping me out her will. They're not keeping me out her money. So let's talk about that. What's good? And so that's what ends with them at Delusional Hospital. Like I said, really got Martin on his loser ass behavior kick once more. But we'll see what happens. I guess you always have Laura. But let's go to traditional Monica's hospital. Let's go to the epicenter of Monica's hospital. So Lulu goes to the queues to give her condolences for Monica. Brooklyn answers the door. She's like, thank you, girl. Thank you for the condolences. Let me go get Tracy, since that's who you're here to talk to. She bounces out. Lulu is talking to Ned and Michael when Brooklyn comes down and tells them that Tracy is missing. She's not in her room. Her bed hasn't been slept in. Ned thinks that she's just at the stables, so Michael goes to get her, but she's not there and she's not anywhere. And so they start freaking out, like, oh, what's going on? At first, Brooklyn and Michael are like, well, maybe she just want to bounce. Like, she's a grown up, she's a baddie. She don't need our help. Ned is like, listen, under normal circumstances, I would say yes, let her be. But her bestie, love of her life, greatest adversary, just died. And so she's not okay. So until I put eyes on my mama, I will not be honoring her wishes. Not for a second. And so they're trying to figure out where she could go. Lulu figures out that she's probably doing the Luke Spencer method of avoiding your problems in booze and gambling. And so they go wherever you could do that. So Vegas, Atlantic City. I assume Atlantic City because it's closer. Like, why are we going all the way to Vegas? That's a long ass flight. But Ned calls someone to go get Tracy because they're closer, which once again makes it seem like this is closer to us. And so we'll see what happens. The final thing in Monica's hospital is Jason going to Bobby's to get his funeral suit and running into Britt being an asshole as usual. He knocks on the door. She was busy giving herself one of those placebos that either Nathan or Faison or Peter gave her, because we know her ass don't have Huntington's disease. Let's just keep that cute. And Jason knocks on the door. She's like, are you here to fix the window? He's just like, no, but I can. What's good? She's just like, well, the closet needs to be emptied out. He's like, all right, I'm gonna do that later, but I got shit to do. Grabs his funeral suit. She's like, well, you going to some mob meetup? What you doing? He's like, no, I'm going to a funeral. She's like, ooh, someone get got? Someone, sleeping with the fishes? He's like, no, my mama died. And now she looks dumb. Like, why is she always being an asshole for attention? Like, that's the most irritating part. It's not even like being an asshole to push someone away. It's literally being an asshole for attention. Like, girl, you are a child. And so he kind of tells her what happened, how, no one had told Monica about Drew being shot and Tracy wanted him to do it. So he went upstairs to do it and he found her, she had passed away. And, you know, Britt asked when Drew was shot because apparently she don't know nothing. Like, girl, you didn't read the news when you came to town. You didn't catch up to like what's happening in the city. Okay. But she asked when Drew was shot. Jason is like 3 days ago. And she immediately makes that shit about herself. Like, so when you were saving me, so it's my fault that Drew got shot and it's my fault that Monica's dead. No, because you're not important. You are not important. Okay? Like, in the grand scheme of things happening on this show, you are not important. You are the most important person to yourself. And you want you to be the most important person in a majority of this cast's lives. You want you to be the most important person in Jason's life. You want to live rent-free in Carly and Lulu's head. You want to be Rocco's most important person. Girl, grow the fuck up. Grow up. But we have this forced ass moment, in my opinion. If you liked it, you know, you feel free to like it. I just feel like it's really hard to get into Jabrit when he's like, you just sort of have Jason being so sad that he just can't even pick up on her asshole behavior because he's just so deep in his man pain. And she's just busy being an asshole. And then for 5 minutes, she's like normal and says normal human things that are normal that you would say to a person when they lose their mom. And then she goes right back to being an asshole. Okay. Okay, I do not want to see Britt for the rest of the week, to be honest. Like, if I don't see her ass for the rest of the week, we could bring her back next week. I'm not even saying like kick her off the show or I don't want her on the show. I didn't say that. I'm saying that for the rest of this week, while we get through Monica's funeral, I do not want to see her ass. I am sick of her. I am tired of her centering herself. Like, they're writing this for me to make a Brits hospital so bad, and I fucking refuse. She is not worth all of the focus she is getting right now. And I don't mean that because she's a bad character or the actress is doing a bad job. Quite the opposite. It is because she is such an asshole and the writers will not let up on that. Not for a second. Like, they're just writing her like a crazed 16-year-old. It's actually insane. And so, no more Brit for the rest of the week, please. I would not like to see her. But let me go watch Wednesday and pray to God that she's not in that episode. And I'll be right back. And we're back. It's still Monica's hospital, but Black Hospital is just firmly not in Monica's hospital. They are so worried about their own things, which is not a problem, right? Because like I said, a lot of this is dedicated to Monica, and so her presence is felt, like the memorial is felt, and it's good to have sort of not stragglers. These aren't straggling. Like, these are actually the main stories happening right now. You know, there's nothing to do with Monica, and it's very interesting. I don't have a problem with it. I just feel like I should point it out because the episode's called Monica's Hospital, but then I'm like, Black Hospital. Let's talk about Curtis's emotional affair with Jordan, right? Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. So, segue. Trina confronts Jordan, not Jordan. I mean, she does go to see Jordan, but she confronts Curtis over the whole Jordan of it all, and he just lies. He's just like, your mother's crazy. She's a liar, and she's crazy, and I've never done anything wrong. And Trina's just like, cool. Then she leaves. Hat Daddy comes out and just gives Curtis some cap about having this emotional affair, because Curtis is just like, I've never done anything wrong, and actually the only reason I'm staying with Portia is because I think she killed Drew, and so she's actually the devil, and I'm a saint. And Hat Daddy's just like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So your marriage is over, like, bet. Okay. Curtis is just deeply unlikable. in all of this to me. I see, like, I'm on Twitter, and so I see people who are team Curtis, and like, you're definitely allowed to be. Like, I don't understand why. Like, I would never cap for this man ever, and him just refusing, just gaslighting his wife and like refusing to admit he's having this emotional affair, because like, regardless of whether, okay, so you feel like you're not having an emotional affair, your wife has told you that she is uncomfortable with your relationship with your ex-wife, and you do nothing to change that. You do nothing to change that. You go to this woman when you're in need. You confide in her. You tell her things that you don't tell your wife. You talk about your wife to her. You are having an emotional fucking affair with Jordan Ashford, and your refusal to admit it makes you an ancient man. It makes you a weak ass man. And I do not care about her sleeping with Isaiah. Like, before someone brings that up. Like, well, she had already slept. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit, because he's been having this emotional affair with Jordan way longer. Like, before she even thought about Isaiah like that, he was having this emotional affair. He knew his wife was uncomfortable with his relationship with this woman who you were already married to, who you already have feelings for, who you had already been with in an intimate way. She told you that she was not comfortable with that. And instead of respecting that, instead of even engaging with that at all, you just said, well, you're a lying ass bitch and I'll do what I want. And so I don't respect Curtis Ashford. I don't respect him at all. That's a terrible man. And if that loser ass Jordan wants him, she can have him. She could have him. She looked great this week. Let me just point that out right now. The like red top, leather skirt combo that she's been rocking for these past 2 days, chef's kiss. Beautiful woman. Loser, but beautiful. But yeah, that's Curtis. Portia goes to the hospital. She runs into Jordan and essentially tells her that her marriage is over. She gives Jordan like a non-apology. Like, I'm so sorry I did that to you, because me and Portia still think this woman's a loser, to be honest. So, like, if you want to go date my husband, you can. He's at his house, because I don't live there anymore, because fuck him. Then she calls Isaiah to her office and tells him that she wants to date now. And he's hesitant, and I get that, because girl, I'm not about to be a rebound. Like, be so fucking serious. Like, you literally went from like fake being with Curtis to calling this man into your office on work hours to be like, do you want to date? Like, girl, Portia, come on now. But, he was like, look, we could do like a trial run basis. No one can know about it, because I'm not going to be embarrassed again. And Portia was like, bet. Cool, I'm down. And so finally, Trina, because she left the house, she went to go see Jordan at her mob apartment to talk about Portia and Curtis and tell Jordan more of their business over wine, and ask if Jordan is having an emotional affair with her dad. And Jordan's like, no, of course not. Why would you think that she would admit this, Trina? Like, honestly, why would you think she's as big of a loser as your dad? And she honestly thinks that she's not doing that, because she also knows that Portia's deeply uncomfortable with her relationship with her husband, and she doesn't fucking care. She doesn't care. And now I don't fault Jordan as hard as I fought Curtis for this, because as far as Jordan's concerned, like, girl, you losing the way you got him. Like, you took his ass from me when you were having your emotional affair with his ass. But this is something that Curtis does, so Jordan being like, oh my god, I would never, oh my god. Okay, Jordan, you're a loser. But Trina is like, listen, I feel like you have got the sauce all wrong. I am not trying to parent trap anyone. I'm not like that fucking dog. I'm trying to keep them out of prison, because if they break up, then it's going to make them look suspicious. And then Jordan's just like, well, if you're getting involved, it's going to make you look suspicious, so you should stay out of it. Does she stay out of it? I mean, she's already up to her freaking eyeballs in it, but like, the Black Hospital doesn't know that yet. But that's Black Hospital. Like I said, it's mostly me being frustrated with Curtis. It's not that it wasn't entertaining. I was fine with it. I wasn't offended by it. I was offended by Curtis, but like I think that was the purpose, if anything. Like the writers meant to do that. So moving on, let's go to Law and Order Hospital. So Felicia goes to see Cody and James over at the horse house. And, Cody is talking about like, oh, my mom always says my dad's looking down at me. It's like, is my mom looking down at me? And Cody has to be like, I'm sure your dad's looking down at you, but your mom's not dead. She's not dead, so she's not looking down. She's like dreaming about you though. And they talk about like riding Comet and galloping. And Felicia comes in like, you're not supposed to be galloping. You're supposed to be doing the other thing. I'm not a horseback rider. I don't know how horses. I don't know the terminology. So they were supposed to be doing the other thing that wasn't galloping. But they're like, that's lame. And Cody, not James. Cody can tell that Felicia wants to talk to him like on the DL. So he's like, hey James, go feed the horses. So James leaves and Felicia lets it drop that Nathan's back, essentially, or some guy with Nathan's face is back, and she doesn't really know what to do with that. And like James doesn't know him, and like what happens to that? And Maxie needs to be here. And Cody's really great. He's just like, Maxie needs to be here regardless. Like even if some man with her dead husband's face didn't show up, but regardless of what happens, we got James. Everything's gonna be fine with that. Like don't even trip. And then Felicia takes James, and on the way out, James is like, I wish you were my dad, which, okay. I don't know what that was supposed to mean. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But let's go over to GH. So Nathan woke up in yesterday's episode, right? Cynthia fucking slayed these scenes because I totally forgot that these two have never worked together. I was like, oh my god, it's just like when he died. But then Michelle Stafford was playing Nina when Nathan died, like killing it, Cynthia. Like y'all know how I don't care for Nina, but like when a bitch kills it, I'm gonna let you know. So she killed it. He wakes up. He's Nathan. He's like, hey, how you okay? It's good to see you. She's freaking out. He can kind of tell that she's freaking out a little too hard for what's going on. And so she's like, let me go get a doctor. She goes out to see Anna and she's like, so yeah, that's my brother. That's him. Anna's like, are you sure? Because you were skeptical. Nina's like, no, that's him. That's Nathan. That's Jay. That's him. Isaiah comes out because he was the doctor who went to check on him. And he's like, yeah, he's fine. Like, he's fine. He's got an old gunshot wound from like a few years ago, but besides that, he's good. And so Anna and Nina go to see Nathan, and it's Nathan. Like he's like, "Hey Anna, how you doing? You look great." And he thinks it's 2018. Called that shit. Told y'all he was gonna think it was 2018. I knew it. He could totally be lying. He could just be lying and being like, actually, I'm Cesar Faison or I'm Peter August with a new face. I don't know. But right now he's going with the last thing that happened to me was Faison shooting me. It's 2018. They have to tell him, nah, bruh, it's 2025 and you've been dead. Like you have been dead for 7 years. You pulled a Jason Morgan, just popped up alive randomly. Also, I guess you pulled a Britt Westbourne now. It's just like we're gonna have to rename it after the Westbournes because they're all coming back from the grave or the Faisons or whatever. It's crazy. But he obviously asked about Maxie, that is his wife. So he's like, where's my freaking wife? And they have to tell him that, she's at the Coma Care Center on Coma Care Avenue in Coma Care County at, Coma, Carolina. And so he's just like, oh no. He asked about the baby because Maxie was pregnant when he died, and they tell him that he has a son. They're just really like, we want to make sure he comes and snatches this baby as quickly as possible because as soon Nina's already like, I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. I've learned at the feet of greatness dealing with Mob Hospital and these grandkids for the past like 5 years. Nina and Liesel are about to snatch James straight out of Felicia's arms. Like they do not give a fuck. They are ready for this. And so yikes to Felicia. This is going to be so bad. So bad. But as of right now, it seems like it's Nathan. Anna is, kind of like, I don't know. This is weird. Because Nina's like, oh my God, it's a miracle. And Anna's like, it's something. It's something. You better believe I'm going to get to the bottom of it. And so that's Law and Order Hospital. Let's go to Monica's hospital. So obviously yesterday we realized Tracy was missing. Where'd Tracy go? Brooklyn and Ned have figured out that she probably went to Atlantic City to go get Luke Spencer drunk. And they sent Lois ahead to go stall her ass. So Lois just spends like half the episode being like, don't you want to say goodbye to Monica? You want to say goodbye to her, right? It's Monica. Like, that's your bestie. I mean, she was your enemy, but now she's your bestie. It's a lot of Tracy and Lois. But on the way, Ned decides to tell Brooklyn that he blew Monica's back out once upon a time, and she is rightfully gagged. Like, bruh, okay. Not because she didn't know, because of course she knew. Like, one, it's just Quartermaine lore at this point. Like, everybody knows that Ned blew Monica's back out. But even if she didn't know, Drew screamed that shit out last year at the Christmas party after that fucking video of him blowing Willow's back out in the nursery came out. He was like, didn't you blow out Monica's back? It was he shouted that out in front of the whole damn family. It was crazy. But so we knew that. And she's like, but of course I know about this. And he's still like, well, let me give you some details. She's like, no, what the fuck? I don't want to hear you blowing this dead woman's back out. What the fuck? But he just ends up parlaying this into some stuff about how Monica was brilliant and he knew her on a different level because of it. Like, they were able to know each other on a more personal level, like, just because of the sheer silliness of it all, and how he worried that she was like secretly mad at him because, he'd never fuck with AJ. He's always been team Jason. Like, even after Jason became Jason Morgan, he was still pretty much like, I like Jason more. I'm not gonna lie. Don't like AJ, never have. And so he worries about that. Brooklyn's like, listen, everybody got ops in the family, right? This got someone in this family that they op with, but it doesn't mean we don't love each other. It don't mean that we don't fuck with each other. And he ends up telling Brooklyn that he loves her a lot. It's a very sweet scene. It's a very very Quartermaine scene. But Tracy's getting trashed at this casino, kind of with Lois. Lois did get her some water, but she's still kind of like double fisting these drinks, like one shot of whiskey, one shot of water. Ned shows up. He tells Lois that Brooklyn is out on the boardwalk. So they end up having a conversation about that one time that Catherine Bell got poisoned by Reginald and was rolling down them stairs. So funny. But it seems like we're gonna redeem Lois on the back with Monica Quartermaine's ghost. So, if you were hoping to see Lois get redeemed, congratulations. But Ned is with Tracy, and he's just like, listen, I get that you hurting right now, and you doing a combination of your own unique Tracy Quartermaine brand of nonsense mixed with Luke Spencer crashing out. But you gotta go say goodbye to Monica. You're gonna be real upset if you don't do that. And she's just like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And he's like, please come do that. And she's like, okay, bet. And literally she says, bet. If I win this hand, then I'll go. Now, earlier, Lois had told her that she has a 69% chance of busting if she hits on a 17 because there's so many high cards. Like, you can only get a 4 or lower and not bust. And she still like hit me. So I assume that she won. Like, I wish they would have just shown her getting the 4 and getting 21 and just rolling out of there with like 50 grand more money. But, they just leave it up for suspense. Like, ooh, did she get it? Did she bust? We don't know. But that was Wednesday. It was very succinct. It was very succinct. The Monica's hospital, it was really just Monica's hospital. So it was like Tracy's Monica's hospital. And then obviously we had Law and Order Hospital and Black Hospital being the little straggling. Not that we don't care about Monica's hospital. It's just we're doing other things beside Monica's hospital. But I have a feeling that Thursday and Friday are going to be solely dedicated to Monica's hospital. But let me go find out. I'll be right back. And we're back. Oh, this whole I called it, I knew it. The whole episode is Monica's hospital. Yes, it's Thursday, obviously. I'm so emotional. I'm so emotional. It was a very emotional episode. It was also a very funny episode. And I'm happy about that. There should be some like levity. I mean, like they say in the beginning that Monica did not want it to be a sad affair. It was very sad. I was deeply emotional about it through the whole thing. I actually tried to like get myself like, because usually I like watch the episode because I mean I watch it the day it happens, right? But I watch it with like a group of people and I'm like tweeting and I don't remember anything. I just remember I remember things in the moment. And so I go back and watch it over the weekend. And so like I watch it, I immediately record. Just like I took notes while I was watching it and then I record my thoughts. I actually had to sit and give myself like 5-10 minutes because I was like, oh my God, that was so sad. I was like, Thursday we get the gag. We got several gags, to be honest. That's what I mean. Like, I love that there was levity, but the entire episode is Monica's hospital, as it should be. As it should be. We should not have any straggler type. Like I said, there are no straggler stories anymore. It's just like a term I'm using now. But we shouldn't be dealing with any of the other stories like that don't surround her. And so we're at the church, we're at the funeral. The whole family's devastated. Obviously, the funeral, like compared to funerals, like, and this is my thing, and this is just for me, because I think I said this like a few segments earlier. Like, I had to just let go of so much of what I used to expect the show to do in order to still enjoy it. And so, like, is it going to be this situation like when Stone died and they're like shoving like 54 people into Sunny's apartment set? No, we're not doing that. But I feel like we got all of the requisite hospital iterations that should be at this hospital, not at this hospital, at this funeral, being represented at this funeral. And so we got like Portia and Stella representing both hospital, and Black hospital, right? We gotta pay our respects. Dante's there, Dante and Chase, they're there on behalf of Law and Order Hospital and the mansion, like, but also Law and Order Hospital, like, so sorry for your loss. Lulu is there representing Rocco's hospital, right? We got Felicia representing Spy Hospital. If you know, you know. I know right now, currently, she's about to be in Spy Hospital with this Nathan nonsense, but just trust me, she's representing Spy Hospital. We got Lucy and Gio collectively representing Haters Hospital. Now, that's a new iteration. I haven't made a title card for that yet. Like, you can see it here, but like, that is a real thing that's I'm going to start popping up with when people are being haters. Not for no reason, just on some real hater ass shit that I respect. But they're representing that. We have Alexis and her progeny and Carson not being there, but that is their gift to Monica, that both Christina's hospital and Monica's hospital are nowhere near this funeral. Because Monica don't want to see any of those people. Fuck them, right? Menaces, all of them. And so, and also Delusional Hospital is on its way. Don't even trip. Don't even trip. If you thought that Delusional Hospital was going to crash this funeral, you have not been watching GH long enough. Because of course, Drew's going to come crash this funeral. But we're not there yet. So let's go back. Let's get real sad real quick. So Jason is there. He's looking at the picture of Monica. It's very sad. Steve is just so good at busting out tears when he needs to. And obviously, this is a soap and these people have worked together for decades. So, the emotions are real. And it's mind boggling that they've essentially, I've made a joke about it because, it's in hindsight, it's funny that, Monica is just alive in perpetuity upstairs being the most powerful character in Port Charles. That's amazing. And these people had to pretend that this woman was still alive for like 8 months. That's crazy. Like, you would never ask, and like, no one in a normal situation would ever be asked to do that. Like, that's a batshit crazy situation. And so props to the entire cast for putting that up, being believable with it, because a lot of the Q's motivation for the past year and a half has been Monica. And she hasn't been on the show. She's literally just been upstairs off screen. And so, kudos to everybody. Like I said, super sad affair. But Jason's there. He's the first person we see. Michael's somewhere. He's not at home. He's somewhere, doing things. Mob Hospital is completely running this funeral. They're the only punctual ones, to be honest. Like, this is why Mob Hospital is on top, because they're punctual and they get shit done. But Liz shows up early, and, Jason, in her hug, she tells him how sorry she is and that she's here to help. He says, Michael got that. He's like the Energizer Bunny right now. That's how he expresses his grief. So I'm gonna let him do that. She's like that. Laura comes eventually. She says how important Monica was, both to the town, but also just to her personally, because, they've known each other for like the whole 45-year run that Jeannie's had. Obviously Jeannie has come and gone from GH, but like, she's from back in the 70s. Like, she's real. Portia and Stella come and tell him how important she was to the hospital, how, what an honor it was to work with her. And we got to think about, in like the larger soap universe, the larger ABC soaps universe, Monica Quartermaine is that bitch, right? So like, Portia must have been jazzed to work with her. Like, yeah, she's one of like the big, like, I always think of Monica, especially because of like her being a doctor in the 70s, that she's like Ellis Gray. Essentially, if you watch Grey's Anatomy, like, she's one of the first kick-ass female surgeons. And so she's that bitch. Like, awesome. We see Lulu with Michael. And she tells him how lucky she was to live in Monica's house when she was a teenager, and how welcoming Monica was, and how, like, even when Monica was like 10 seconds for throwing Luke and Tracy out that house, she always made sure she knew that she was not being thrown out the house. Like, girl, you stay in your room, put your stuff away. Why are you getting a bag? No one said anything about you. I said them. All right, the mansion will take care of you. The mansion will raise you. Don't even worry about that. I am obsessed with this mansion. It's like, the mansion is its own character. The Quartermaine Mansion is its own character. It's one of the most consistent sets on GH. The interior changes, but people redecorate their house. They're rich people, so we have to assume that they redecorate. I remember when the whole house was made of rich mahogany and the stairs were facing a different way. We all do, but it's fine. Like, it's totally fine. Like, that is not the staircase that Catherine Bell tumbled down. We all know that. It's all good. People redo their house. It'd be like that. And so the Quartermaine Mansion and the GH set, which has also changed dramatically since the 70s, they are two of the most consistent sets. Like, I think it's that in like maybe the PCPD, because we always need a police station. And so, like, even though the sets evolve, like, those are probably the three most consistent sets over the past 50 years on the show. And so, it's Monica's house. It's Monica's house. And speaking of Monica's house, the rest of the Qs are at Monica's house, not being punctual at all. Like, and we get the big reveal that Tracy, I guess, did win the cards. They should have just showed her winning the card game. I would have loved it. But she obviously won the card. That dealer probably just threw that hand. He was like, yeah, she can win. You got it, queen. But she ended up, because like, if I'm the dealer, I'm gonna throw the hand. Like, I'm not gonna be the reason this old woman doesn't fucking go to this funeral that she clearly needs to be at. So like, I'm throwing the hand. That's my lore, that the dealer was like, I'm gonna help her out, rigged them cards and made it so she got blackjack. Boom. girl, go say goodbye to your friend. Um, but we get the story like Tracy's here, and they all go to the church. Gio shows up to honor Monica, but just to be a hater to his parents. Like, he is such a hater, this crazy, and I don't know. I need to know more of this kid's motivation. That's all I'm saying. Because, like, based off of what I know, he needs to calm down. Because, like, and Lulu kind of needs to calm down too. Because, like, girl, I'm not saying you need to push him off you, but, why are you just so. Even Laura was looking at that hug like, what the. Girl, why? Like, are you sure that's the right move? Like, Laura was looking at that like, so they're standing right over there and you're doing this. Okay. It I don't know. I don't know where the show's going with this because I actually don't want Lulu and Brooklyn fighting like this. And now I'm starting to blame Gio more than Lulu because he also spends the whole funeral kind of like mean mugging. And I'm like, who you mean mugging? Who you mean mugging? It's not even like Brooklyn or Dante are giving a eulogy. So you're kind of just like mean mugging Ned. Or you're mean mugging Liz. Or you're mean mugging Laura for some reason. Like, but whatever. Gio's there. Gio's there and Brooklyn says baby steps. Baby steps. And so then we get into the eulogies. So Ned gives the first one. It's very nice. He reads a note from Monica, and that's very nice, very sad. Then Liz gives her eulogy, and we actually get the scene of Monica reading Liz for filth after she found out that Jake was her grandson after he fake got ran over by Luke, because that didn't happen. None of that happened. Jake is alive, living in Spain. But whatever, it's fine. But she gives a really nice eulogy. It's funny though. It's funny that they showed that scene. I feel like they felt like they had to show it because like it is Monica reading a bitch down, and so makes Monica look really good. But like Liz was really talking about like her at the hospital. So Liz also was kind of representing hospital. But also like Jason's baby mama hospital, to be honest. Like she's the last man standing. But it's fine because Monica's gonna like dapping up Sam upstairs in like the great upstairs, and so it's fine because she loves Sam. That was her number one. But Liz gives her eulogy. Laura goes up and gives like a great eulogy about how like central Monica was to poor Charles, to the town, to the show. It's a very good eulogy. Like this is why we let Jeannie Francis do these things, because she delivers. Like when people are like, why is Laura talking? This is why, because she's gonna make you cry the entire time while having like the most melancholy smile on her face. Like she's so good at smiling but looking sad, like looking beautifully sad. Like Jeannie Francis is queen of that. All right, like take lessons from Jeannie Francis on how to look beautifully sad, like to look devastated but also beautiful. Several people across not even just on GH, across entertainment call her. So I'm saying. And then we get so Tracy's supposed to speak. And everybody is like, it's supposed to be Laura, then Tracy, then Michael. So Tracy, you gotta go up. Tracy is really just like, no, I'm good. I don't have anything to say. Thank you so much. Like, people are like, you gotta say something. She's like, I do not wish to speak. Thank you. Lucy is like, I'm just gonna buy her some time. And she goes up and gives one of the most batshit crazy, wildest eulogies you ever fucking heard in your life. Lucy! I would like to preface, I was given life from this eulogy. This is the quintessential hater's eulogy. This when you go to your enemy's funeral and you want to stun on that. You really want, because Lucy came in with this energy. Lucy came in with this energy. She comes in with Felicia She comes in with Felicia, and Felicia is like, oh, you know, Monica, she was such a brilliant woman. She was such a brilliant surgeon. She saved Maxie. Lucy kind of tries to parrot that, like, she was brilliant. She was brilliant, wasn't she? She also was an ancient person, though, so let's keep that cute. Felicia is like, girl, I slapped the shit out of you. Please don't bring this up at this woman's funeral. What the fuck? Like, you cannot be her op at her funeral. Like, I'm gonna go sit in the car. Felicia had ghost in the car energy the whole funeral with Lucy, to be honest. Lucy about to gag everybody. So Lucy gives, like, the first half, she gives one of those, like, you had me in the first half ass speeches. This eulogy, you had us in the first half, Lucy, and she kind of does have us in the end. But Lucy first starts talking about the nurses' ball. Oh yeah, you know, the nurses' ball. She was the only person who cared about that like I care about it. And I'm worried about that. That, like, now that she's gone, who's gonna care about it like she cared about it? Like I care about it. And it was really nice. And then out of nowhere, out of nowhere, she decides to drop a fucking nuclear bomb and say, we also shared a husband. Everyone is gagged. Everyone is gagged. Laura is gagged. Lulu gagged. Felicia gagged. Like, Quartermaine's gagged. Jason looked like he want to punch her in the face. Jason looks like he is considering putting hands on this woman, because what the fuck is she talking about? But she turns it around real quick. She's just like, you know, we hated each other. I'm not gonna sit and play in y'all's face and pretend like me and her fuck with each other. We didn't fuck with each other. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. But that's because Alan wanted her. Alan wanted her, and I was a hater ass bitch about that. I never got over it. I was just like, why her? Why her? What's going on? And then essentially it's like, because she's that bitch. That's why she won. She won because she's a baddie. Diva down. Diva down. And, like, gives a literal quintessential diva down haters eulogy for Monica. A plus, no notes. A plus, no notes. I loved it. I know some people did not. We watch this soap differently. We watch this soap differently. I know that this is not how Lynn Herring feels. I know that she lost her friend of like 30 some years. I'm just saying, the Lucy shit, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I want my haters to show up and give a eulogy like that. Like, Monica, you're so powerful. Oh my God. But at that point, everyone's like, so Tracy, you gonna go? You gonna go? She just gave a crazy fucking speech. You gonna follow that? Because we need to be sad again, to be honest, because, like, we're busy being gagged. And so she's still like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Jason gets up and gives, like, probably the most emotional speech of the whole episode, where he's essentially like, she was my mom. Like, not only was she my mom, she chose to be my mom. And, like, even when I pushed her away, she still chose to be my mom. Even when I was acting out, Mob Hospital was literally ruining her life, left, right, and center. She was still my fucking mom through that. And, like, I didn't realize until it was almost too late that she was going to love me no matter what. That it's not that she didn't like who I am, it's that she just loved who I was. And it's hard to mourn somebody who you see walking around the fucking town every day, right? Like, how's she supposed to mourn Jason Quartermaine when she sees Jason Quartermaine just walking around being a fucking criminal, right? And so, like, he's like, it's so sad. It's so, so sad. I will say, there was an interesting moment where he says, like, it wasn't until I had a son, and the camera pans to Michael. Now, I get it. if you did not sit through the like stolen Michael, this was a years long story. Carly, Sonny, and Jason spent years keeping Michael from the Quartermaines. This was like a 24/7 job for them from like 1997 to like 2007, to be honest. Like a 10-year like storyline of them just being like, these people can never see this kid. And they all were kind of raising him in this weird unholy trio alliance where he just had like he had like a set 3 parents and then rotating parents that rotated in as Sonny, Jason, and Carly got new love interests that were not each other. That makes sense. Usually it was Carson going back and forth, but then Jason had different relationships. And so, sometimes it was Courtney, then it was Sam. Liz was in there for a second, but I don't think Michael saw any of that. And then obviously Sonny has too long of a list to name. Carly had Lorenzo Alcazar, Jax, obviously. And so, like, they were rotating parents for Michael, but like Carly, Sonny, and Jason were the set parents. And so, like, I get it when they say that, like, when they say I wouldn't know until I had a son, and they pan to Michael, because for Jason, that is he was Michael's first father, to be honest. He was lying to everybody about that. And so, as much as I get people being like, well, Jake is his first son. Is he? Is he? Is he? That's all I'm saying. Like, technically, it's his first biological son. Yes. But when it comes to, like, actually raising a kid, Jason barely raised Danny. He got him in the last leg of his childhood. And now he's the full-time parent, barely, because he goes to Evil Sandals resorts in the Balkans instead of being at home with his son when he's finding dead bodies. But definitely more present than he was with Jake. And so, Michael got way more of Jason's love and attention than either of those boys combined. And that we could debate about that character choice at a different time. But like I said, Jason got a lot of regrets, and his story, Liz brought this up earlier in the episode when she told him that your regrets, like you making all these choices over the past 3 decades, is what made you coming home mean so much more, and it's what making his regret at all of what went down mean more, to be honest, like narratively speaking. And so yeah, it's really great. But Jason finishes, and Tracy at this point is like, so Michael, you gonna go up and finish this up? Because we all said you won't end it, so let's end it. And people are like, Tracy, you gotta say something. You gotta say something. But she's like, nope, I'm not saying nothing. So Michael goes up and he gives his speech. It's cute. It's hard to follow Jason's, to be honest. He talked about her being a great surgeon and his relationship with her as his grandmother. But then it kind of just goes into like, come see about us at the repast back at Monica's house. Drew busted. Drew Bussin, Delusional Hospital is here to represent at Monica's funeral. Now, Drew had decided to go at the last minute and represent Delusional Hospital on some delusional ass shit per usual. And Martin tries to stop him. Martin is like, listen, I'm not saying you don't have no right to be there. I'm saying, like, do people want you there? And Drew is like, I don't fucking care. I don't care. That's my mom. I only knew her for a decade. And I don't care about that. I brought her pizzas once. She was super happy to see me. And she called me right before she died. And I have absolutely no proof of any of this, but I think she was going to forgive me. And so I'm going. And so he busts in, and that's how it is. And like Tracy Quartermaine looks awoken. Like she been asleep. She been sleepwalking through this funeral because she really didn't want to be there to begin with. She just won a card game and was forced. But she has awoken. She is awake. and we're gonna see what happened. So let me go watch Friday. I knew we were ending this funeral with Tracy's speech, and I'm ready to be devastated once more because I've already heard it. So let me go watch that. Be right back. Okay, and we're back. Oh, it's more. It's Friday. It's Friday's episode, and it's the continuation of Monica's hospital. And it's there is more levity in this episode, but it is still very, very sad. Obviously, the episode starts with Drew showing up, trying to give this whack ass eulogy where he's like, I'm Drew Quartermaine and I'm Monica Quartermaine's son. And Michael and Jason are immediately ready to put hands on this man. They do not care about him being post gunshot wound in a wheelchair. They are like, I will definitely beat this man's ass in the church. Sonny Corinthos status. If you don't know, ask somebody. And so Tracy steps up and she's like, I got this. Reads his ass for filth. Like, bruh, let me fact check you real quick. You are Drew Kane. You are no kin to Monica. She did not raise you, so you don't need to be here. You don't need to be here, bruh. No one wants you here. And wheels his ass out here telling him he is neither desired nor required at this funeral. So thank you, sir. He bounces. Portia was getting her fucking life from being able to be at her ops, fake mom's funeral when he wasn't. She was living. Like, look at her face. Like, she's like, yeah, cheesing. But Tracy realizes that she's now ready to give her eulogy. She's been woken up by Drew and his, delusion. She actually calls him delusional. I lived. I was like, yes, I feel like the writers are listening. But she gives, like, if Lucy gave the quintessential haters eulogy, Tracy gave the ultimate haters eulogy because she starts her eulogy with the hate, right? Lucy started with the praise, went into the hate, ended praise. She had like a praise hate sandwich happening. Tracy said, let me tell you how much I hated this bitch from day one. Goes into the story like she was beautiful, but she was basic. And I knew she wasn't good enough to be here. And she had everybody fooled. And I was going to let them know that she ain't it. See this woman here? She ain't it. But I was wrong. She was the best of us. And it was just such a great speech. And she ends it by, saying like, this is your house. It is your house. Alan gave it to you. And as long as I'm alive, it's your house, girl. And so, we know Martin is about to do something with his house with sus ass Vicky. Lord, I am not going to be on Martin's side with this. This is loser behavior, Martin. But funeral ends. Everybody goes back to the house. You got Olivia trying to play hostess the way Monica would have done it. Laura comes in, comforts Tracy. You got Dante and Brooklyn talking about, the Lois and Gio of it all. Cause, why not? It's happening, right? Shit's happening. We got Lulu comforting Jason, being like, your mom talked about you all the time. Like, don't ever worry about that. We got Michael thanking Chase and Dante for not trying to put him in jail today. Like, thank you so much for keeping your crusty Drew investigation on the back burner right now while I bury my grandmother. They said, no, bet we family. We family, sir. We're going to put you in jail tomorrow. Don't even worry. We got some Lulu and Laura talking moment where Lulu is, because Laura's like, Monica went to my wedding to your father. And Lulu's like, girl, the whole world went to that wedding. That's not even special. Like, didn't the Queen of England go to that wedding? Like, everybody went to that wedding. I kind of just loved the gags and like the lore dumping and stuff because Monica's has been on the show for so long. She's been here for all the iconic things, right? We had Stella and Tracy talking when Gio shows up, and Gio is just like, watching you throw Drew out that church made me proud to be a Quartermaine. And Tracy's like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Monica loved you playing, thank you so much. Dante tries to talk to Gio, immediately gets blocked by Ned. Just immediately, Ned, like, Gio's like, Ned, let me talk to you. Like, he could feel Dante's presence coming up behind him. He said, nope. Ned, let me talk to you. Ned is so funny because he's just like chill grandpa. He's just like, how you doing, grandson? Like, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing? No pressure, but love to see you more because, you know, I didn't do shit to you. Just FYI, like me, Ned Quartermaine, Olivia, your grandmother, we didn't do shit to you. Just, you know, even if you feel some way about Tracy's attitude, me personally, my wife, we did not do shit to you. So whenever you're ready, you know, because you're talking to Sonny, you calling him grandpa, and I don't really know why I'm not on the list because I didn't do nothing to you. Like we were nothing but cool with each other, and now all of a sudden you're not talking to me. So whenever you're ready, because you know, no pressure, but you know, just keeping it cute. Like if we're going over the list of people who did shit to you, me and Olivia did not do shit to you. Bet. But Gio's like, okay. He ends up leaving, sees Brooklyn and Chase on the way out, but you know, he was there. It was a moment. We're proud of Gio. Good job, Gio. We do get this line because obviously, if you guys had noticed, there were no children at this funeral. Not even the like adult ones. Like, so Jake didn't come back. There was no Danny, no Rocco, no Scout, none of them. No Wiley and Amelia. And we get a throwaway line. And I don't care because as long as you tell me why things are happening, I'll take it. Because I get that you can't get all the kids. These kids are busy or they're working or they're in school. They got shit to do. And so Liz ends up telling Portia that the kids didn't go out of solidarity for Scout because Drew ain't shit. And he half the mansion can't even see this child. And so she couldn't go. It was between half the family not going or Scout going. And so they had to make a judgment call on that. And so all the kids were like, we staying out because of Scout. We solidarity. None of us went. It's all Drew's fault. I love that like there is a potential that we could get a weapons ending for Drew at this point where he's just chased through the streets of Port Charles by crazed children and just ripped to death. If you know, you know. Go see Weapons. It's a great film. Anyway, we get, you know, one last off-screen story for the road from Jason. He's like, she told me a story I ain't never heard before. And then everyone's like, well, don't keep us in suspense. And it literally just cuts someplace else. So I don't know if the story's going to come back up and we will hear the story later, but we definitely did not hear the story. I was like, huh? What about, I want to hear the story. Why does Gio get to hear the story, but I don't get to hear the story? I've been in this family longer than Gio, to be honest. He got to hear the story. Whatever. We'll hear it eventually, or I will complain. I will complain bitterly about this. It better have something to do with sus ass Victoria Lord. Anyway, we get, you know, Ned thanking Olivia for, you know, hosting such a nice repast. And I want Olivia to get this house. I know that some people are like, it should be Michael, it should be these people, it should be Tracy. I need a non-biological Q to always own the Q mansion, because that's fair. And those people are more fair about who gets to live in the house, where if it's a biological Q, they could go real tyrannical with that. I need Olivia to have this power. Like, this is my house. Monica gave it to me. Give it to her right now. And I also don't ever want Ned and Olivia to break up. Don't do that. They don't need to break up. They're fine together. Everything's fine there. But yeah, that's what I want. Tell me in the comments who you want to get the Quartermaine mansion. You are allowed to say sus ass Victoria Lord, but to be honest, we already know that like Erica Slezak is done filming, so I assume it's not going to be her. And so you can say it, but I think you're wrong. Like, you know, I think she has the secret will that gives it to Olivia. That's all I'm saying. But who do you think should own the Quartermaine mansion now that Monica has gone to the great upstairs in the sky? But speaking of the mansion, Lucy was really out here trying to sell the house in the middle of the repast. Like, Felicia had to snatch her up real quick and be like, girl, we gotta go. Girl, what are you doing? You cannot be trying to sell the house during the fucking repast. What's that? That's why I love that Lucy is here. Just anytime the show gets a little too sad or we're like worried about Tracy too much, here comes Lucy saying some outlandish shit. Like, so you gonna sell this house? You gonna kick all these people out into the street? Like, Carly's hotel is about to be full. Like, if sus ass Victoria Lord come in like this, my mansion now, kick everyone out. So many people about to be at the Metro Court. It's gonna look like Genoa City up out here. If you know, you know. And so the Quartermaines give one final toast, like after everyone leaves, because like everyone leaves, obviously, you know. The Quartermaines give one final toast to Monica, and Jason goes to the stairs and gives one final toast to upstairs Monica. I love the central place of the staircase in this goodbye. Like, it has been a running joke on my podcast about how powerful upstairs Monica is, and she really was represented by the stairs themselves for the past year and a half, that she's upstairs and we would like focus on the stairs when we would talk about her. You had Tracy bringing up the staircase on Monday. You got Jason giving a toast to his mom upstairs today. It's just upstairs Monica. Pour one out for her. Pour one out. And then, in the greatest turn of events that only upstairs Monica, who's now in the great upstairs in the sky, could do, we got Britt Westbourne's fucking picture off that wall. Get her picture off the wall. The only thing that I would have loved if you had given me like a scene of Elizabeth taking the picture off the wall, throwing it in the garbage. Throwing it straight in the fucking garbage. We didn't get that, but it's canon in my mind. In my mind, that's exactly what happened, because Liz been hating on her since day one, and I love to think that as soon as she walked into the hospital, Liz went straight up to that wall, pulled that picture off, threw it straight in the garbage. Like, we don't need this no more. I have to see her in real life now, so I don't need to see her on the wall. And so GH put Monica's picture up next to Alan's, and it was so good. I was like, yes. I'm so sad. Like, this was such a great, like, I really, really loved the tribute to Monica Quartermaine over the past week and a half. I thought it was really well done. Let me know what y'all thought about it. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, you know, what you liked about it, what you didn't like about it. I'm interested. I've heard a lot of opinions on Twitter, because that's usually where I am, but you know, y'all let me know. But the only thing that we really have that happens is, like, obviously Drew got thrown out of the funeral, but he's not out of the episode, and so he goes back to GH, and Martin's like, so you changed your mind because you're back real quick? Drew's like, no, Tracy physically wheeled me out of the fucking funeral and no one tried to stop her. Martin's like, okay, like, why are you talking about this like this is shocking news? Like, that doesn't surprise me. Everybody in that room hates you. And he's like, why does that matter? If someone died, we're supposed to come together, we're family. Bruh, be so fucking serious right now. And once again, just starts like talk about how he's gonna frame Michael, how Jason's gonna be so upset. Martin's like, be so fucking serious right now. You want to scheme, you want to be mad at somebody, you should be mad at Tracy, because Martin's mad at Tracy. Martin, this is loser behavior. This is loser ass behavior. Scheme on Tracy's downfall after Monica's funeral. Like, you are using Monica's dead body to scheme on Tracy. It's not a cute look. It's not a cute look. But he essentially tells Drew that karma's gonna hit Tracy. Don't worry about that. It's gonna hit Tracy. It's gonna hit that whole family so bad. And I'm like, is it? Because even if they take the house, isn't most of the money in ELQ? And that's owned strictly by Quartermaines. Like, the house, in my opinion, should not be owned by a blood Quartermaine. It should be owned by a Quartermaine by marriage. But ELQ is strictly blood Quartermaine run. And so, like, they wouldn't actually be destitute. They're not nobility. They're not cash poor. Like, whatever. But he's scheming on Tracy's downfall with Drew now, which makes him Team Drew, which makes him a loser. And so the final scene we get is that Tracy had been like, yeah, I'm over this repass. I don't want to talk to people anymore. I want to go see Monica. And so she sneaks out, goes to the crypt. Who's in the crypt? Sus ass Victoria Lord. Sus ass Victoria Lord. What is she wearing? Like, it's not cute, right? She looks cute, but she doesn't look like she's here for a funeral. Like, you look like you're going to the grocery store. Like, girl, like, at least show up cute to Monica's funeral before you steal this house from underneath these people. But that was the week. That was Monica's hospital edition of Port Misery. Everybody pour one out for a legendary soap character, Monica Quartermaine. There will never be another one. There are places maybe I can like link them. I don't know. I'll ask the person who owns the site. But there are like accounts on YouTube that have like OG Monica scenes if you ever wanted to go back and see some of her scenes from the 70s or 80s or even the early 90s. If if you're a newer viewer and you haven't been watching since the 90s, like Monica was on a lot back in the day. I feel like the last like 15 years, even the last 20 years, isn't really a good representation of how central the OG Quartermaine family was. Like this sort of revamp that we've got in the last, I mean, literally 2 years, I would say, kind of harkens back to that old school time where the Quartermaines were probably the most powerful family on the show, very pre Sonny Corinthos days. But that was the week. If you liked this, please give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye.